Mr. Swapan Dasgupta, another Calcuttan who perhaps spends most of his time out of the city right now. He has been a distinguished journalist and currently a Rajya Sabha member, with his sympathies being unconcealed for the BJP. Mr. Swapan Dasgupta to give his points of view on secularism being a sham.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for giving me the opportunity of speaking without necessarily being incarcerated. Now, I got incarcerated, or rather attacked, for the crime of not being a secularist. I was told I'm not a secularist. Now, why was I told I'm not a secularist? I should have told them earlier. And I'm going by my friend Farah Naqvi's version that really secularism is all about your person. I should have told them that only the week before I had celebrated Christmas by having a fabulous meal. It was the height of secularism that I tuned on to the King's College chapel and heard the choral music there. That should have been the height of secularism. I should have taken it as a secularism that I go by the test of Jawahar Sarkar, who's become the certifying authority as to who is a Hindu god and who is not. That precisely is the problem. It's the problem of what Farah rightly called the Humpty Dumpty syndrome. You know, a lot of you may have known of a word called prestigious. The word prestigious, we all understand it means reputed, etc., etc. But do you know that only 100 years ago, the term prestigious meant someone who was a conjurer. In other words, someone who was artful in the art of deceit. It's a bit like that as far as secularism is concerned. Secularism is whatever you choose to be. It is an absolute term of convenience. The person you don't like is not a secularist. The person you love is a secularist. Jawahar Sarkar is a great secularist. When he was serving, one of his great achievements as CEO of Prasar Bharati was that he was the first person who telecast the Vijayadashami speech of Mohan Bhagwat live. It was a great secular achievement. It's a great secular achievement that my great friend Sanjay Jha has a temple which really has certain icons there which are a great oddity in the world. It's a great secular achievement that Farah can recite a certain part of Qawwal, it's certain shares. I have a problem with shares because I need subtitles all the time. But here, Shazia is not a secularist because she believes in Islam. She says so quite openly. So what is this? The chairman before that said we'll be hearing about Brexit. He said we'll talk about the turbulence of Brexit. I've been a great supporter of Brexit all my life because I thought that was a time when the English nation, the British nation comes into its own and rediscovers its greatness. But no, sir, you believe that votes don't mean anything. The voice of the majority doesn't mean anything. It is the voice of the enlightened minority which only constitutes that. And that is at the heart of it. The sheer arrogance of people who tell us what to believe. Do you realize one thing? That, sir, this debate is not provoked by Noakhali and the great Calcutta killings. Right till 1976, secularism was not formally in the constitution, it was imposed there. We didn't have debates on secularism then. We started having debates on secularism after it was enshrined in the constitution because you tried to codify it. You tried to define it. You tried to say this is what it is and this is what it is not. The idea of tolerance, which is a sense of feeling, that was violated. And that was the leading. When Farah Naqvi tells me that when I say Jai Shri Ram, I am being offensive, I don't tell her what she believes is offensive. Why is saying Jai Shri Ram offensive? I say it all the time. Each political speech I give, I didn't used to say it in Bengal. These days, the workers demand I say Jai Shri Ram. It's there. Why is it offensive if I say that I believe that relatives of my grandmother who were left behind in Chittagong, who came over because of religious persecution, should be given Indian citizenship? Why? Why should I be defensive about this? Why should I not say that these are the relics of partition? I will say that quite proudly, and I will still say this does not take away anyone's citizenship. It does not affect anyone's citizenship. I am being inclusive. But I will say that there is a difference. I am being discerning, that the people of India also have a right to choose which faith they personally would want to believe in. Now, there was a great sham. Mother Teresa was one of the most respected figures of Calcutta. Everyone. But you know, when she died, she was given a military funeral. You remember it, as some of us do. And it was said, she's a great secular figure. My God, she was one of the most devout religious figures of all time. She believed in her own faith. And she quite aggressively believed in her own faith. I respect her for that. Yet she's called secular. But I am communal, although I celebrate Christmas. This is the tragedy of the whole thing. It's become a farce. Secularism has become a sham because you have tried deliberately to codify it, and those who try and codify it today are those who are the pathological losers, those who lose elections, can't accept verdicts, and go on and on and on and on. That is what they've done. They did it the last time, they've done it now. Fight elections, contest it, lose it, respect the verdict.
Don't blame the machines.
And don't blame the EVM, and don't say the person you re-elected is a dictator. Because you also served that dictator. This, sir, is the tragedy of India, that we get caught by all this sort of thing. Today, my friends in St. Stephen's College, I believe, are reading the preamble. All the best to them. When you read the preamble, just realize one thing, that we are what we are not because of the Constitution. We are what we are because of the Constitution is important. We are what we are because of our civilization. That is what we are. That is the precedent. And that civilization tells us that we are something little more and more uplifting than even secularism can set limits to. That we are Indians, partly because, as they say, we are like this only.
Swapan, thank you.
Thank you.